Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's Big Brother Canada 10 chat.
Oh, hi. It's episode 2.
It's already the first eviction of the season.
That went quick, didn't it?
Oh my goodness!
All right, so last time 16 house guests went in.
Mm-hmm.
It's Canadian Thunderdome.
It is.
And the new HOH, the first HOH is Herman.
Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? He didn't want to be the first HOH. He wanted that
Why
sweet,
did he play
sweet
so hard,
safety.
then?
I don't know. Maybe he's just got that competitive instinct. I don't know. But he did not want this. He's like, this is the worst possible scenario. I mean, I think it would have been worse to be evicted, but...
I felt like Herman was the worst possible scenario that I could think of to be HOH.
Yeah, you were rooting hard against him. You just got that vibe that you knew it was going to be a stinker.
Yeah.
If he was HOH.
I just don't like salesmen, I guess. Sorry, guys.
But he did not want to win this because he doesn't want to get blood on his hands this early in the game.
Right. So his HOH room we saw for a hot 2 seconds.
Yeah.
All they showed was somebody jumping on the fuzzy bed, and it had like the orange and purple and
it looks
red
like a pretty
colors.
sweet HOH room.
It looks pretty freaking loud. Like, how the hell are you gonna sleep in there?
Well, I guess when they turn all the lights off, it's not so bad. But we didn't see any like family letters or anything like that because they don't usually do that for the first HOH.
No.
That usually kicks in with the second HOH every season.
All right, so after that, everybody's chowing down. I guess the next morning, maybe, at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And Jess gets into a discussion with Moose.
Jess was talking about how much they love eating in general. Just what a great, like, earthly pleasure it is.
I have a feeling Jess just likes to hear themselves talk.
I mean...
And argue. And
I could see
zap
that.
everyone's energy. Would you say Jess is an energy vampire?
I'm kind of getting that vibe.
I see. No, I didn't get that vibe from their
interview,
bio,
yeah.
and I did not get it.
I don't know. But Moose was
I'm
like...
really not digging it, though.
Yeah, Moose was like, I don't know. I'm not that into food. And then it got awkward between the two of them.
Really
it was very awkward. And it was like, why is this kind of conversation so awkward? Like, this is such like a surface level convo.
Yeah.
And it's being taken to a really weird place.
Not feeling it.
Yeah.
So in the HOH room, a trio has emerged.
Right.
And that is Herman, Moose, and Josh.
They were all in the prize round for the first HOH competition, so they feel like a bond here because, I mean, Moose and Josh, they're automatically safe this week for winning their rounds.
Right.
Oh no, it's starting again.
Plus, they're all dudes and, like, you know, they're
like,
bras.
I don't want another bro alliance. Please don't do it. Please.
Well, it seems like Moose is really taking the reins here.
Seems like he's steering the ship because Herman is like, I don't know what to do this week. Tell me what to do. So Moose is like, you should target people that are not there, that don't have like ties to other people at this point.
Because then you're really not going to piss many people. You're going to piss off the least amount of people if you do it this way.
Right. So Moose decides those people, in his eyes, are Helena, Jess, Kevin, and Melina. Those four don't really have...
he's probably right.
Yeah. Those four don't really have connections to other people yet. And it kind of bums me out that they're just going to, like, target the outsiders. Boo!
Well,
lame.
they are this week.
Yeah.
It all depends on who wins the HOH next week. If that's going to continue or not. Probably not. I would say it. Unless it's one of the Young Bucks in the Young Buck Alliance.
Yeah. This is a strategy that we've seen many times. Because people don't want to make waves that first week, so they'll go after somebody who's not really vibing with everybody else. They're going to go after
the low-hanging fruit.
Exactly.
The wounded deer.
Yes.
The lone soldier.
Yes. So then Herman was doing his HOH one-on-ones, and it seems like he was not enjoying them. I feel like you should fully embrace that because people generally are going to be coming to you with information.
I feel like he was really abrasive in, like, asking people right off the bat. Well, you know, we didn't see the whole thing.
No, we only saw
we don't have feeds. We didn't have feeds.
We only saw such a small portion of what was going on here. This whole entire episode, because they had a lot to squeeze into this 1 hour.
His Julie Chen questions were, who should I put up on the block?
Yeah, and some people did not want to give answers. Melina, not giving names.
I mean, why do the dirty work for the HOH?
Yeah, but at the same time, do you want to be the target the first week? Maybe you should drop some names. I don't know.
I don't remember what Kevin said, but...
Herman's response was, nope.
Helena was open to Jess going up. I don't think Helena really gave any names, but Herman was like, well, what do you think if I put Jess up?
And she's
Helena,
like, okay.
Yeah.
It's not me. I don't really have any connection to her. And then Jess was talking to Herman, and this was another awkward one.
And they were very abrasive. They were like, I'm not going to tell you. It's your HOH.
It's your job.
Yeah. Then they went into this segue about lions sleeping 20 hours a day, and...
I'm not really sure who she was implying is like a lion in this game. She was saying like the people that really have all that energy to go out and attack, they have to like sleep all day in order to be able to do that, you know? But like who was she trying to imply as a lion?
I think they were trying to say that Herman was a little bit too much. Like, he really needed to rein it in a bit, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know.
There's a lot of things you can take away from this conversation.
Yeah. But we can tell.
But Herman was not liking it.
Herman was not feeling that conversation with Jess.
Yeah.
So that's not great for Jess.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, it was time for the nominations.
Boy, we were like, quick here. We got noms. All right. Melina and Jess. Right? I mean, like, no explanations, really. No nothing.
There was not the whole, like, high-tech thing that we're used to with nominations.
Was it broken? Or...
Maybe they just didn't have time for the theatrics of it all.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because they usually go into the room,
like
they do the short list, but I mean, they didn't even have the faces on the wall. Are we, like, low-tech this season? Or was that just week 1?
I mean, in a way, I kind of dug it because it honestly is a little bit of a time waster usually.
A little bit.
So we just got down to it.
Did they have that many sponsors this season that they just can't waste that much time anymore?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was just for this episode since they were so strapped for time, or if it's always going to be like that. But
well, Herman said, Melina, you went up because we haven't really had any deep conversations. I've had deeper conversations with other house guests.
Okay.
And Jess, you are a gamer, and you being a gamer is a threat to my game. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's valid, right?
Yeah, definitely. So then, after the nominations were in place, Melina was talking to herself in bed. Okay. She's not feeling these people. She's not having a good time, like, fitting in with everybody.
In general, so, like...
I mean, she said in her pre-show interview that she doesn't like... anyone really except for her sister.
I get annoyed by people who breathe. I get annoyed by people who are human. I get annoyed by people who chew.
So, I mean, we had to see this coming a bit, right? Yeah. I mean, she just wasn't going to vibe with most people. But Kevin comes in, and she feels pretty good about Kevin.
I wonder why. Because it's VillainCon Season 10.
But I gotta say, Kevin has been doing a decent job from what we've seen so far of being... nice and friendly with people.
I feel like Kevin is so fake. He is fake as F.
I mean, it reads fake to us, but it seems to be working somewhat in the house.
Yeah.
More than I thought it would.
Well, Kevin, he's looking for some cracks here to get in and see what's going on. But
we'll come back to that.
Yes.
All right. So then, now that Jess is up on the block, they go to the HOH to talk to Herman. And they're like, what's going on here? Why am I on the block? Like, can I get an explanation? It was like, whoa.
Can you clarify? And Herman says, hey, you were giving me some gamey answers.
Like venison?
No.
No, clearly like very calculated, strategic answers.
And they were like, can you clarify gamey? Can you say what was strategic? Can you say what was this? And I was just like, Oh my God, can this please be over? And Herman felt the same way.
Yeah.
He said it was the most awkward conversation of his life.
It definitely felt awkward watching it, for sure.
Yeah. So...
Jess feels like they're the target at this point.
And they are right. They are right. So
yeah.
Let's get right to the POV comp. We didn't even see pics. We didn't even have this.
Yeah. So
what is that?
There's no time. No time tonight. So just a reminder, the last few seasons, at least in Canada, the HOH has not been playing for the power of veto. So they're only doing 5 players.
I can't remember, though, when it got down to only like 6 in the house, did the HOH kick in and start playing again?
I think so.
Okay.
I think. I don't remember exactly. Maybe like when it got down to 5, but
yeah.
I don't remember exactly. But yeah, the HOH is not playing in the power veto competition.
They're not eligible for playage. And there was no have-nots.
Yeah, no have-nots for this first week.
And I guess no cold showers either. Mm-hmm. Does Canada do the cold showers?
I honestly don't remember. It might just be the room and the food.
Yeah, because, like, Canada's so cold, eh?
I know that they've,
know that they do that. It might be, like, a medical thing.
I know that they've turned off the hot water at times, but,
to punish
the whole house.
When they were pigs.
Yeah, I don't remember if they have, like, a dedicated have-not shower. I feel like no. Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, well... It's time for the POV comp, and the extra players are Jay, Helena, and Gino.
All right.
God bless.
And of course, the 2 nominees, Jess and Melina, are also playing.
All right, so the the POV comp is called Power Poppers.
Mm-hmm. It's a humping one.
Hump in the air, hump in balloons. You got these nasty belts on that have little spikes on them, like from the 80s.
So this is a throwback to the very first POV competition in Season 1.
Power Poppers.
Yes.
1.0.
Do you think, now we've seen 2 homages to Season 1 this week. Do you think each week they're going to follow along? Like next week they're going to bring back stuff from Season 2. Week 3 they'll bring back stuff from 3. Because, I mean, there's 10 weeks in the season, and this is the 10th season.
And they only have to pick one out of a whole season. So, I mean, it's pretty safe to say that somebody got an extra weekend off because they didn't have to come up with competitions. They're like, hey... I
mean, I'm sure they'll put twists on them, but...
Well, yeah, and it's 2.0, so it's not exactly the same. It's similar.
I kind of like that. I think, like, if every week had something from the corresponding season, I think that'd be really cute. Why not? Like, let's not overdo it on the twists, but a little something from that season, you know?
All right, so they had to pop the balloons by humping them. And some of the house guests were getting a little frisky. They were getting a little sweaty.
I mean, Jay was like, you know what? I'm safe this week. I don't need this veto, so I'm going to put on a show.
I'm going to hump the hell out of these balloons.
People were ruling
for Gino.
Over Gino.
Whatever floats your boat. Whatever humps your balloon. I don't know.
I guess.
So they had to pop the balloons, find the green balls, fill up their tubes with guess how many balls?
10!
And
once you filled up your tube, you could start working on your veto puzzle.
Right. And I didn't think it looked that hard, but whatever.
The trick to that was that there was a hole in the middle of the puzzle. So if you didn't realize that, it was going to be a little confusing.
All right. So I don't think Gino really realized that at first.
Wasn't he the first one to figure that out?
Was he the first to figure it out, or
was there even a hole in the puzzle? No, I'm not sure.
No, there definitely was.
Okay, yeah. I know there was at some point, but did they fill that in eventually? I don't remember.
No, he was like, hey, there was a hole in the puzzle.
Yeah, okay. I'm just questioning everything at this point.
Jess won the POV. Worst case scenario for Herman.
Yeah, so Jess is thrilled. I mean, at the very least, it means we're going to have some drama on the live feeds because you know Jess is going to bring the drama. But yeah, Herman is annoyed. He's not happy. He's got to come
up with somebody else. And what was the season? Was it 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago where basically they ended up nominating like 3/4 of the house on the first...
I mean, that's happened like a few times. I remember in the U.S., Cody had to nominate like 5 people or something. Like, it happens every once in a while because of twists or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he does not want both of his initial nominees
to come back after him.
To stay.
Yeah.
So he's very nervous about that. It seems like he's just looking for a pawn to go up next to Melina. But we'll get to that. First, we need to talk about Stephanie.
This is the comic relief for tonight's episode. She doesn't know geography.
Is it funny or is it a little terrifying?
I think it's a little bit of both. I'm really surprised that she didn't watch more Degrassi.
Coach Teacher?
Yeah. Well, that's
the Kroll show. Okay, so Stephanie was
also Canadian.
Yeah. Stephanie was like, I just learned... Wait, no, it's not.
He's Canadian.
Nick Kroll's from, like, Westchester.
Okay, he's not Canadian.
But yeah.
It just seems like it.
It's just the accent in that sketch.
Oh, okay. He's very good at it then.
Stephanie was like, oh, I just learned that Canada has lakes. And then she was like, no, I mean, like, oceans? What? And so then, was it Moose who was quizzing her on, like, which ocean is on which coast? And luckily, she got that right. But, like, what?
Well, she's the muscle girl.
I guess.
So, Moose and Herman...
It's time to...
Strategize.
Figure out what the next move is.
Should we put up Kevin A?
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
Kevin was in that list that Moose gave
list
initially of people that don't really have a lot of connections throughout the house yet.
Oh, so that was like the short,
I guess so.
low-tech list at the beginning instead of having them
baked
go
it
in that
there.
room. Yeah, they didn't have to go in the room and be like with the headroom.
No,
remember that?
That was so weird.
That was really weird. Now it's just a little telephone in there. Mm-hmm. All right, so... It's time for the POV ceremony. Nobody pleads or anything. Basically, Jess just stands up and says, I'm going to use the veto to save myself.
As one should.
Yes. And the replacement nomination is Kevin, as expected. And Melina is the target, also as expected.
Yeah, I mean, again, Herman does not want both of his initial nominees to be safe this week. So he is targeting Melina.
All right, so Kevin slithers back in to talk to Melina.
Yeah, Melina...
She might not be the friendliest person in the world or the most social person in the world, but... When you don't spend any time blah, 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 talking to people, you can do a lot of observation.
She's been watching, for sure, because she
knows what's what.
She sees who's hanging out together, who seems to be working together, and she decides to share this information with Kevin. She's like, I'm not going to say anything that you tell me. I'm not going to say that to other people.
This is probably stupid of me to say this to you because
Kevin's like, yeah,
I'm exposing myself.
I'm not going to tell anyone either, I guess. Yeah, he is. So, Melina's...
Evil Buster Blue.
Yeah, Melina's like, okay, well, clearly Moose and Herman are working together. She's listed off all these other people that are working together.
Kevin's like, uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So then...
She breaks down basically all the alliances and everything in the house to him.
Yeah.
And he goes to work and starts telling everybody that she knows what's up.
I mean, is it slimy? Yes, but is it
allowed?
Gameplay? Yeah. I mean, he's got to save himself, right? I can't really blame him for that.
I am admiring his gameplay. I think he may be pushing it a little bit, like with his fakeness, because I think that's going to wear thin pretty soon.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to see him burn out because
You want to see him go into villain mode?
I want to see more villain.
I mean, he was talking about how he's really trying to, like, keep that in for right now. Just be cool with everybody to get through.
Just be cool, Kevin.
Yeah. But then, you know, when the time comes, he's going to turn it on.
He's going to pull out the aces.
We'll see.
All right. Well, Tanisha thinks that Kevin is pretending to be dumb.
Yeah, she was talking to Melina, and she was like, I don't know that I believe what Kevin's putting out there. And she's right! She's right. But will Tanisha do anything about it? Tanisha was telling Melina, this is going to be a really tough vote for me. I like both of you guys. I don't want to vote out either of you, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Arissa checks in, and we have about 10 seconds for each of the house guests on the block to plead their case. Mm-hmm. Melina said, play good and play a smart game. Okay, bye. And then Kevin says, I'm out of my comfort zone. Vote for me, and I'll help your game.
This speech had, like, the cheese factor for me, though. Like, I will go to the furthest stars or whatever. Like, what? The furthest stars outside of my comfort zone. Kevin, what? Okay, but anyway, it was time for the vote. And it was a lopsided vote, but it was
a
not...
landslide.
Yeah, it was not unanimous.
No.
The vote was 11-2 for Melina to go. The 2 for her to stay were Jay and Jess. Mm-hmm. So they went against the grain there.
They did.
But yeah, Melina is evicted. And there was something else that we picked up on during the voting. We noticed that Gino, Tanisha, and Kyle all did this little...
the weenuses.
They did this little point to the...
Weenus.
Well, the weenus is, like, underneath.
Oh,
but
okay.
They were pointing the top, but I was like, yeah, weenus. So it would appear that those 3 are in an alliance together.
The phlebotomy alliance?
Maybe. I don't know. Tiffany? Yeah. So I don't know if there are other people involved in that or if it's just a trio, but that's who we saw do their little, like, symbol during the voting. So that's an interesting trio there.
I'm a little surprised that Tanisha is in that one. I could see Gino and Kyle, but I feel like she is a little bit unexpected to be in there.
I'm not super surprised because...
I would have swapped in Stephanie in there.
I don't know.
I'm a little bit surprised that Tanisha is.
I would say I'm a little surprised that Gino is in that alliance, but maybe they wanted to have, like... the brains in Tanisha, maybe, like, the charisma of Kyle and, like, the brawn of Gino. I don't know.
Or the strategy of Kyle, maybe.
But I see Tanisha as, like, the strategist, though. Like, I don't know.
But, I mean, Kyle has also been studying this game for a whole year.
Mm-hmm. It's tough to say. I don't know. And there could be more people involved in that just didn't do the little signal. But... yeah. Who knows?
All right. Well, Arissa welcomes Melina back into the real world. No studio audience, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is these days.
Yeah. And this show wasn't live either, so...
This show is never live.
All right. So, Melina is not surprised. She's not a people pleaser. Really?
We know.
So, like, whatever. Bye, Arissa. Peace.
I'm bummed that we're not going to get to see her at all in the live feeds, because I thought that she was going to bring a fun, artsy vibe to the show.
Do you think she didn't want to do the rap in the HOH room?
I mean, it's possible, right?
That's everybody's downfall.
Yeah, it just seems like her personality was not a great fit for this show, so maybe it's best that she gets out of there before it's, like, too much.
I feel like they cast her as a troublemaker. In a way, like a not a troublemaker, but like as a disruptor. Mm-hmm. And it didn't last very long, unfortunately, because that would have been fun to have seen, but not this season.
We hardly knew you.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to see the next HOH competition on this episode, but we got to see something else.
It's
a new thing.
I wonder how many weeks they're going to be doing this for.
Yeah, Arissa let the house guests know that Kevin, as the block survivor of the week, gets to open one of the secret doors. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she said that this is going to be happening not every week, but some weeks. Yeah, that whoever survives the block will be given the chance to open a door. This time, there was money behind the doors. He got to choose.
Do you think there'll be punishments in the future?
It could be.
Possibly, right?
It could be. I mean, there could be advantages. Who knows?
Right, well, our ring light died.
We need to charge the battery. But anyway, Kevin had 3 doors to choose from this time. 14, 3, or 19. You
get to choose one. One has $500, one has $2,500, and the other one has $5,000.
Whoa!
$5,000 hairs.
Yeah.
So he chose the door with 500.
Honestly, though, from a game point of view, probably the best option for him because
5,000 would have been a target.
If he locked in that 5,000, that would always be in the back of people's minds. Like, oh, Kevin's already got some money here.
Get out of here, Buster Bluth. Go back to your Mother Boy competition.
Yeah, so he's walking away with $500 at least on top of his stipend and all that. But I really like this twist of, you know, somebody surviving the block and potentially getting to
a reward or
getting
a punishment?
some sort of something.
Because, or a punishment for somebody else. Maybe they would have to pick a punishment for somebody else.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think of previous seasons where maybe like there's a steamroll or something, and like the same people are going up on the block time after time. Wouldn't it be nice for one of those people to get some sort of advantage, and then they could maybe shift the power in the house? I think that's a really cool game mechanic.
Or maybe they would get safety. Or,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, something to change up the game. We don't know what's going to be behind those doors, but I'm assuming it's not going to be money every time.
Because we don't want Canada voting. Being the HOH or...
I kind of liked the Canada's HOH twist.
Really?
But then again...
Really?
The time that they did that, it just, like...
Killed the game?
No, it broke up that alliance that I wasn't a fan of. So I mentioned the first 5 yesterday.
Right.
So, I mean, when it benefits my faves, it's fun. But
when it doesn't, it's screwed.
Yeah. So I think that's a fun addition to the show. To have whoever survives the block get something. I think that's cool.
Wow. Here's something exciting. The live feeds start tonight.
Oh my god! So Arissa didn't say what time exactly. We don't know.
I'm assuming it's probably going to be like 12-ish on the East Coast.
Could be any time now. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we will know who the new HOH is.
Maybe we should ask Coach
soon.
Teacher.
Yeah. And tomorrow will be the first live feed spoiler live stream, so look out for that tomorrow afternoon.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And next episode is Monday.
All right. So leave your thoughts on this episode in the comments. We love to hear them and read them, whatever. And we love to read them. I guess we're not hearing them.
No.
But
we hear them in our heads.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow for the spoiler.
Yes, and until then,
much love.